Hello there, so 10th of June 2020 and here you are with Dan in Essex, UK on this lovely early summer's evening. There we go. So one may not think actually it's summer at the moment because it's about 12 degrees C, which is about 53 degrees Fahrenheit. But with that we've had some very welcome rain. So there we go. So today I'm going to be making a tour video. You can see what's going on here, and over the last few years I've been working on a partially self-sufficiency project in this small to medium-sized garden. So let's start in here in this polytunnel, and I've got like a food forest project going on here, growing on all different levels, and I'm expecting it to be very, very productive. Let's make a start. So at the back here, the Dixie Red peach tree really coming on, and more people are getting into the growing of peaches and nectarines here in the UK, which is something that I'm really happy about because they grow very well here, provided you can avoid peach leaf curl, okay? And the way that I avoid that is by growing the tree under cover year round so it doesn't get wet during the winter season and when the tree proceeds to leaf out. So you know, you can see it's raining right now, but the tree is dry and it's like this year round. So there we go. So you can see the peaches are forming here, looking absolutely beautiful, and no sign of peach leaf curl, and we are now in June. So there we are. Now at the bottom of this I have a collection of vegetables all ready to come, and you can see the sweet corn plants there. I've got dwarf beans, runner beans. Here I have zucchini, courgettes. Here I've got cucumbers, variety Market More, which I do recommend very strongly if you want to grow cucumbers. And you can see at the sides here I've got chard this side and beetroot this side. So all levels. Up will be the medium level when the sweet corn comes. The ground level will be the courgettes and the cucumbers, and the underground level will be the beetroot. So there we are, and just above that will be the chard or spinach. Now you can see here, these just caught myself on this, look, grape bunches here. This is variety Autumn Royal. Really won't be too long, well probably September, maybe October actually, till these are ready. You can see they're very big and established bunches. If I put my hand here, look, you can see just how big that is. So I'm very happy with how that's coming on. Now I had a very interesting question about size of bunches and the grapes. So some varieties produce bigger bunches and bigger grapes, and some produce smaller bunches with smaller grapes. A lot of that is dependent on the variety, but if you've got like very closely knit grapes and you want to give them the chance to get bigger, maybe you could remove, say, one out of every three, and that could give them a bit of a chance to get bigger. But a lot of grape size is dependent on the variety. Now these cherries are positively epic. Not quite ready yet, but you can see just how absolutely gorgeous they're looking. I mean, they're so ornamental, really lovely. And like, look at these ones up here. Look at those. Don't they look beautiful, eh? I'm resisting the urge to pick them. I managed to treat the green fly a little bit, so that's going away, I'm glad to say. And it's literally, they're going to ripen over a sustained period. So I've got a huge crop of cherries, which I'm incredibly grateful for. I don't know if you can see them up there, look, on the canopy of the tree. Okay, so these are, or this is one of my recommendations for people to get, and you can have these, you know, if you've got just a fence panel such as this, and these are tayberries. Now you can see, look, these are cropping already. It's still relatively early in the season, and you can see just how much of a crop there is in a very small space. Very nice tasting. If I'm not mistaken, they're a cross between a raspberry and a blackberry, but please don't quote me on that. I may have got them mixed up with a loganberry. So do your research, but either way, they produce very well, and they fruit on the previous year's growth. So what you do is you'll get plenty of growth. So this one here, so this is this year's growth, and what you do is you leave that, and then next year you'll get your fruit. And in the dormant season, you remove the shoots, canes, whatever you want to call them, that produced the previous growing season, if you understand my meaning. Now down here at the back I have some patty pan squash, variety Benning's Green Tint, and a pumpkin at the back. Now they don't look particularly healthy at the moment, but they will improve. They've just got their boots in, they've just got to get going. Now down here actually I planted this spinach, and I've decided to leave this to nature because I've noticed that sparrows are regularly enjoying their everyday consumption of spinach down here, and they're staying away from my cherries. So leaving them here, doing my bit to help them and their dietary needs, and it's working out well. Pear variety Concord, there you go. I really do not need to speak too much about these because you can actually see the huge variety or the huge amount of crops on there. Absolutely loads. I mean, look at that, just look at the sheer volume of them. Massive. Now here, look, the Lakemont seedless is looking really lovely. Going to be really heavily cropped. Going to have loads of those, and the blueberry as well. I mean, just look at some of those, lovely. So far I've discussed a lot about fruit, so we'll go on to some veg now. And here I've got potatoes, Desiree, Duke of York, Desiree and King Edward, yes, that's it. And here I've got some spinach and chard, or spinach and orchard, growing here all very well. Got some more dwarf beans to put in at a later date, and these are just about to flower. You can probably just about see the flower buds on that one there. So it won't be too long before I'm getting main crop potatoes, which I'm very grateful for. Now, I had a question regarding my grafting, which we will come back to in a moment, but to hear spring onions looking absolutely lovely. You know, I've been eating a few bits of these. I might even pick them soon. They're really delicious. And you can see the spinach. The kale went to seed quite early this year, but a lot of that will be because of the heat we had. One can't do much about that. And the garlic's coming on very nice as well. So I was asked about some grafting. So you may be aware I did some grafting this year. Now this one has taken here. You can see the rootstock there, the graft there. I'm going to leave these, even though it's got aphids, I'm going to leave this one growing up here because that could be a potential to graft onto another year. I don't think this one here has taken, but I'm not ready to give up on it yet. So I did two, 50% success rate, still not bad. So I always advise people when they want to get into growing, if they really want to take it to the next level, get into propagation. So taking cuttings of things like berry bushes and gooseberries and grapes and things, so you've got some to put in the future, and I think you'll be very glad you did. So here we go in the other vegetable garden. You can see we're already coming on here, and you can see the dwarf beans really have put out some growth. Really happy about that. We had some, what have we got here? What do we have? Ah, yes, we have some, don't we? Aphids there. I treated them yesterday, and I've noticed they've reduced much, so I'm very glad about that. There's always something to do. But so dwarf beans here, runner beans here, varieties of tomatoes here, courgette here, variety zucchini, and these runner beans here are growing up really well. The grapevine is coming on really well in the middle, happy about that. And you can see here these blueberries looking lovely, absolutely fantastic. And you can see these courgettes here have now started to put out some flowers, so it's not going to be too long. In fact, I've got the start of my first courgette coming here, which is great. So zucchini, this is and I think in the US they refer to courgettes in general as zucchini, but over here it's a specific variety. If anyone out there knows exactly the situation, please inform me down below. But either way, these are said to crop in about 7 to 8 weeks from setting, which would be about right. So very happy, and more tomatoes there, so really cool. Getting some flowers now on these dwarf beans here. Nice little pink flowers, very ornamental. More runner beans here. Now into the polytunnel, there we go. So really coming on lovely in here. This polytunnel is 6 metres by 3, for those of you who are not aware. So it's not going to be too long in here specifically. You can see these main crop potatoes, Desiree mainly, really have put out some flowers, so there are going to be some ready in there. And down here, you know, this is a variety Florence. It's been the year of the strawberry this year. Absolutely fantastic. The tropical section. And these little flies are great because they are pollinating very well. So the Autumn Royal strawberries, these are just delicious and incredibly sweet. As I've stated before, they are not a heavy cropper, but you can even eat them when they're not quite ripe like that. And they're just amazing. So there we are. Now, I get asked questions about peppers and things like that, and chilies. Well, I want to just pass some information on to you. So This chilli plant here, this is variety Onavec, and got the seeds from the Real Seed Company. And I actually set these in December. So you can see we're now June. I've got 2 chilies on there, and got loads and loads of flowers coming. Another chili coming on there. So chilies, you want to get them sown as early as you can, okay? Very, very important. And another one for that sort of advice would be these aubergines, eggplant seed. Let's see, right, this one here doesn't actually have any flowers on yet, so no sign of actually any crop yet. So get them in early. Of course, when growing things like that, you know, you've got to make sure the microclimate is right. You know, you want to have them, you know, in south-facing windowsill, something like that, and water the seeds with tepid water, but get them in early. Okay, so there you go. That's just a little bit of what's going on around here. I may have another project coming up. That is a May. I don't quite know exactly when or even if it's going to pull off, but I'm truly hoping it is, and I think it will be good for all concerned. So there we go. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't even know if it's going to happen yet, and I don't want to get people's hopes up. Right, there we are. That's the update. If you like my work, please feel free to like, share and subscribe, and you can always check me out on Dan_Home Gardens on Instagram if you're interested. Thanks a lot.